So welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K25 Next Gen. In today's video, we are back with another episode of our Trading Every Player rebuild series, and today it's going to be the Minnesota Timberwolves. There is no doubt in my mind that the Timberwolves are a talented team. Unfortunately, they have not had the best start to the 2024-25 campaign, and today we're going to go ahead and trade away their entire roster. Now, this offseason, they made the blockbuster trade with the New York Knicks, sending out franchise, I don't want to say icon, but their longest tenured player in Karl-Anthony Towns, shook things up a little bit, and it just doesn't really seem like something's kind of off with this team, if you know what I'm saying. So that's not the reason we're doing this today. It's just kind of the next episode in the series, but nonetheless, this is still a talented roster, and of course the end goal to win a championship. I, of course, am not allowed to bring back any of these players once I go ahead and trade them away, and as I just mentioned, the championship is the goal at the end of this video. But before we get into this, first and foremost, good to be back. I know last week was a short week. There was only 3 videos. My apologies for that. It was, Thanksgiving here in the U.S. Hope all of you who celebrated had a fantastic holiday, but good to be back into the mix of it. Happy December to all of you fine people, and let's have a great month, my friends. Let's get into it. Now, if you guys play 2K, watch my videos, watch any other creators' videos, you're probably very much aware that 2K loves the Minnesota Timberwolves. It feels like they always win the West in year one. Anthony Edwards averages like damn near 40 points throughout the conference finals. Unfortunately, today, I don't think that is going to be the case because, of course, we're going to have to trade away their young superstar along with the entirety of his surrounding core. So I wish I had a say in any of these deals. Unfortunately, I do not. So I guess let's just go ahead and get into it. Now, I'm hoping we have a decent amount of offers for Ant. We actually have none. Okay, let me just go ahead, because that's the first time I've seen that. Like, I've traded away Giannis, I've traded away Luka. I mean, all these guys, super high overalls, and that has never happened so far to this day. So there's nobody on untouchables. There's nobody on untouchables for any single team. So what I'm likely going to have to do is move Ant's position, which, again, not something I love doing, but probably just going to be the only way I'm able to actually trade him here in year one. So he's down to a 91. There's 6 offers. Again, not my favorite thing in the world. Not really loving any of these offers, but it's really the only way. I'll try at the small forward spot as well just to confirm, but I have a feeling it's going to be the same case as shooting guard. Yeah. All right, so we will move Anthony Edwards to the point guard spot. Again, not my favorite thing in the world to do, but we got to trade the man one way or another, and I guess it just makes the video that much more challenging. That being said, if I include like Rob Dillingham with him, no, there's nothing. How about Nickeil Alexander-Walker? There's 5. All right, you know what? That's fine. Are some of these a little different? That's cool. A little bit different. No rule against it. Let's just close the eyes and randomly scroll. All right, so we're scrolling through these 5 different trade offers, hoping we land on a good one. Again, I would take Anthony Edwards over pretty much every player we've been offered, but that's just kind of the way these things go. Stop. It is going to be Zachary Rizachet and Trae Young here from the Atlanta Hawks. Nothing against Trae Young. I'm still probably taking Anthony Edwards 10 times out of 10. We also do get Zachary Rizachet, of course, the #1 overall pick in the 2024 draft, but that's, again, just kind of how these go most of the time. So I guess I'll just leave Ant as a point guard, by the way. I mean, he's replacing Trae Young, so I guess that kind of makes a little bit of sense. But Julius Randle going to be up next. Has certainly been up and down in his Timberwolves tenure so far. I mean, again, we're only like 20-something games into the season, but yeah, I don't know if Timberwolves fans are having a little buyer's remorse there with Karl-Anthony Towns and Randall. All right, stop. And it is going to be Anthony Black and Jonathan Isaac from the Orlando Magic. Oh, baby. That, again, not my favorite deal in the world, but just making it a little bit more challenging. Rudy Gobert, whose impact in real life is obviously much stronger than it is here in 2K. 14 different trade offers for the 4-time Defensive Player of the Year, and it is going to be a deal with the Atlanta. Oh, no. Oh, God. What are we doing? Another deal with the Hawks that I feel like they're coming out the clear-cut winners of. Can I do Reed and McDaniels together? If we do them, we have 23 offers, so I guess that is fine. But yeah, man, I'm not loving these so far. The last Trading Every Player video with the Bucks, we got really, really lucky. This one, not so much so far. Stop. And it is going to be Jalen Johnson. I can't trade for Rudy Gobert. Why is every deal I land on with the Hawks? Stop. And it is going to be DeAndre Ayton and Robert Williams. I mean, I guess the good news is we have injuries off, so Rob will likely be able to play a little bit, but my God, man, not great. Mike Conley and Dante DiVincenzo going to be up next. 21 different trade offers, and again, just hoping we get somebody who is A, not a center, and B, who is a decent overall and relatively young. Stop. And it is Malik Beasley and Tim Hardaway Jr. I guess at least we're getting a little bit of guard help right there, but yeah, this team is not really great, to be completely honest with you. Rob Dillingham, Terrence Shannon Jr., of course, getting a little bit lower in the overall department right now, so Probably going to look for some rookie scale contracts here. And we're going to stop right now, but we're actually going to go one to the right. And that is Yusuf Nurkic and Tyus Jones, or it would have been Jakob Poeltl and Achai Agbaji. This deal actually kind of sucks for a couple different reasons. First and foremost, Yusuf Nurkic is another center that obviously we don't really need. And then second, Tyus Jones, while is a nice piece to have, he is going to enter free agency, and we are not going to have bird rights on him. So we're going to lose him for nothing after a season. But yeah, a lot of big men on this team right now. Not exactly my favorite. Let me just see. I know we have Leonard Miller. I don't trade the two-way players. I think it's actually just Dozier, Garza, Minot, and Miller left to deal away. So yeah, let's just get through it. This has obviously not been very favorable for us so far, and we're going to have to certainly work around this in the first offseason. Stop. Daquan Jeffries, Seth Curry, welcome to the team. And then our final deal here, which is going to be, let's see, it is going to be Leonard Miller, Josh Minot, 270 overalls. Probably not going to get much here, but let's just see who it is going to be with. And it is going to be the Charlotte Hornets. I can't take back Luka Garza. Awesome. Grant Williams actually wouldn't have been terrible. Stop. And it's going to be DeAndre Jordan and Vlatko Konchar. All right, let me just go in here and confirm that we have, of course, ripped down this roster, traded away a lot of talents, and come back with this sort of constructed, I don't want to call it a disaster, but it kind of feels like what it is. So, of course, we have the rules set in place that I can't make any other trades after we, of course, trade away the entire roster. That, of course, until the first offseason. So this is what we're working with. I'm going to have to move around some positions. That kind of goes without being said. And I will see you guys with, I guess, some sort of rotation. Okay, we've gone ahead and finalized this rotation. There were some tough decisions that had to be made. Before we go ahead and talk about it, I want to just remind you guys of something. I typically, say this every video, but every single pick that the Timberwolves have traded up until this point in real life has also been traded in this game. I don't turn off previously traded draft picks just because we're trading away the entire roster. So, all of the picks they gave away in the Rudy Gobert trade, the ones that, of course, have not, gone through yet, all the picks they gave, what other deals do they have? Every single pick the Timberwolves have given up, I still don't have. That is my point. Here's how it's going to look. It's Trae Young. I moved Anthony Black to the 2. Again, this is, I don't want to say a throwaway season, but probably about as close as it can be to one of those. I'm going to develop our young players as much as I possibly can. Reza Shea, of course, going to start here at the 3. I'm playing Isaac at the 4. Now, he is not our highest overall power forward after we gone ahead and moved Rob Will to the 4, but he spaces the floor a whole lot better than Robert Williams does. Of course, provides a lot of defense as well, so I don't know, a little bit of a more natural fit. And then I'm starting Ayton strictly because 2K says I should. There's really, I don't love any of the centers we have. Of course, they're all decent NBA players, but they're not going to be 3-year options for me. Bench unit will be led by Tyus Jones. Of course, he is likely going to be gone after a season, which kind of sucks. Robert Williams, as I mentioned, was moved to the backup 4. This is not for any rhyme or reason. It is strictly because his overall did not go down where everybody else's did. You got Clint Capella, who is going to be the backup 5, Malik Beasley, the backup 2, and then Tim Hardaway Jr. backing up Reza Shea at the small forward spot. So, unfortunately, Yusuf Nurkic is just not going to get any minutes. It sucks. He's certainly good enough to be in an NBA rotation, but I do not need 3 centers. I especially don't need 4 centers when I have Robert Williams and Capella already coming off the bench. So, yeah, it sucks. It's just kind of how these things go from time to time, and that is certainly part of the challenge. So, I will be beyond impressed if Trae Young can lead this team to a playoff spot. I highly doubt it, but we will find that out together at the end of year number 1. I mentioned early on in this video that the Timberwolves are very loved by 2K, and I was always under the assumption that was because Anthony Edwards is a young superstar. He's obviously incredible, and there's a pretty decent supporting cast. That theory might already be proved wrong, because this team, led by Trae Young, it's Trae Young and the Funky Bunch, for lack of a better description, won 58 games, which was pretty much damn near the last thing I thought was even a remote possibility entering this year 1 with this relatively tragic roster. So, yeah, maybe 2K just absolutely loves the Timberwolves no matter who is here. I'll take it, though. I mean, fine by me. Now, Luka Doncic, a 34-point triple-double. He is your MVP. Jared McCain, Rookie of the Year, certainly in the conversation. I'd say it's probably between him and Dalton Connect as of recording today. You got Amen Thompson as 6th Man of the Year. Wembanyama, your depoy. Anthony Black does win Most Improved. I guess we got something going for us here. Oh, God, that one hurts. It's also cool because Anthony Edwards is from Atlanta, so I guess that is cool that he's playing for the Hawks. In 68 and 14, another one of 2K's babies here with the Dallas Mavericks. is Jason Kidd your coach of the year. So we're clearly in the playoffs. We end up as a 2 seed here, 10 games behind the Dallas Mavericks, maybe running back the West Finals from a year ago. And here is a look at the East. Ant leading the Hawks to a 1 seed there. All right, let's go ahead and dive into the numbers a little bit real quick. Trae Young was incredible for us. Another, I'm assuming everybody's going to call it an under-the-radar kind of season, because that feels like Trae Young only has under-the-radar kind of seasons, unfortunately, at this point. How is Zachary Risacher not Rookie of the Year? I feel like his numbers might have been a bit better than Jared McCain. No disrespect to McCain, but here in this scenario, he was pretty damn good. DeAndre Ayton double-double, Jones, Hardaway, Isaac, Black, Capella, Beasley, and then Rob Will. Rebounding department going to be Ayton, assists going to be led by Young. So believe it or not, we are not only in the playoffs, but we're facing a play-in team. That play-in team, of course, going to be the Los Angeles Clippers, who have had an interesting start to this season without Kawhi Leonard. Now here in 2K, they obviously do have Kawhi, so they also traded for Max Strus. So pretty talented team here. Really strong season for Norman Powell so far. Quick 2-0 lead for us here. Make that 3-0 and make that a sweep, my friends. What is going on? What the hell is going on? All right, we move on to the Sacramento Kings, who, I feel like the Kings haven't really been talked about a lot this season. I mean, everybody knows how great De'Aaron Fox has been so far. I feel like we haven't really heard a lot about DeMar or Sabonis, but yeah, here goes nothing. They're talented, obviously have some experience. We are currently down 2-1. They go 3-1, and we get bounced in 5. A quick gentleman's sweep there for the Sacramento Kings. I don't think anybody was beating Luka in the Mavericks anyways, and though would have been nice to have a guy like this, wouldn't it have been? All right, it is the Hawks versus Mavericks finals. Dallas gets it done, and Luka a 30-point triple-double. Gives him a finals MVP as they win in 6. It is time for the offseason. I guess DeAndre Jordan retiring. We had him. I think he was actually the final deal we acquired before year 1 started, but we're not going to override that. Ime retiring, that's a surprise. All right, so we're going to enter the draft lottery. Not that we have any draft picks in this, but we will sim through it real quick. And it's going to be the Blazers, Grizzlies. Grizzlies were bad. It always surprises me. The Hawks via the Lakers. Great. Give Anthony Edwards a top 5 pick. That's going to help. Chris Finch deserves to keep his job with, the way this team performed this season. Of course, it sucks, losing as a 2 seed to a lower 3 seed, I guess, in the second round, but that's fine. Let's see what we have. We have the 3rd overall pick in round 2, and again, not a lot to work with in the future draft pick department. So I don't do it as often, but I'll actually draft somebody here. Are they going to play? Probably not. JT Toppin, the only guy listed by a C overall, according to our scouting department. So sure, welcome to the team. I don't know. Is he related to Obi and Jacob? I'm assuming he probably is. I don't really know, though. He's actually a 72 overall. It's not terrible value. All right, so Anthony Black, Daquan Jeffries will both be brought back just because, again, this is an unrealistic rebuild. And then none of the two-way players will be qualified because, of course, we don't trade them or re-sign them anyways. So free agency, we're going to have a decent amount of names. We're only going to be able to bring back 2 according to 2K, and it's not like we have cap space anyways, so I'm just going to pay the guys, and we are unfortunately going to lose Jones, and then a few other names on here as well, like a Malik Beasley. Sucks, just kind of the reality of the situation. I'm not able to bring back Tyus Jones. I know, like, pretty much 100% on that because I've had this situation come up in other rebuilds. So Capella, Hardaway Jr. are back. We are certainly going to be making some trades. Let's get into those. I certainly wouldn't say that I love this trade, but after spending the last 12 minutes looking for a deal, it's about as good as it's going to get. We don't have a lot of depth on this roster right now, so unfortunately we can't really beg for deals is what I'm trying to say. So Robert Williams, Tim Hardaway Jr., first-round pick, second-round pick, going to New York for Mikal Bridges, and another first-round pick in 2028. Again, it's not a deal that gets me wildly excited, but it is a deal that is kind of going to benefit us quite a bit. So excited to have Bridges in this backcourt next to Trae Young, obviously going to provide a decent amount of defense. So Anthony Black will now come off the bench. Of course, still going to start Risacher after his really strong rookie campaign. Daquan Jeffries probably not going to play. If there's actually a way I can get a draft pick for him, just considering I'm pretty low in that department, thank you very much, Miami. I'll take it. All right, Nurkic is going to be dealt, whether it is for, a backup, for starting for, honestly, because Jonathan Isaac, respectfully, probably not going to cut it heading into, another season. So can I just do this and find a 4? I cannot begin to explain to you how many deals I got offered Rudy Gobert, and I obviously, can't take them, but it's kind of funny thinking about how quickly they want to move on. All right, like Jeremy Grant, it's not great, but I do think it's probably going to be a nice little upgrade for at least a season. We also get Toumani Camara back in this deal, and again, we don't really have the assets or the depth or the draft capital to really be choosing our deals right now. So whatever comes up, kind of got to take it. Jeremy Grant, welcome to the team. So he'll start at the 4. Camara will honestly just be the backup behind Risacher. I may play JT Toppin. It's not exactly my favorite thing, but we need to sort out our backup point guard spot as well before we move forward really anywhere else. So Monte Morris, I guess, is probably going to be my best option here. Again, there's not a lot of free agency depth right now, so yeah, Monte Morris, 2-year deal. Good God. Again, these are not great signings or great trades, but they are what we unfortunately have to work with. And then the free agent power forwards aren't exactly elite, so might as well let the 20-year-old JT Toppin get a little bit of run there. So yeah, this is how it's going to be. DeAndre Ayton's going to be our third highest overall entering year number 2. We're actually here at the start of the second season right now, and for whatever reason, the Los Angeles Clippers are willing to deal me Ivica Zubac and Norman Powell for DeAndre Ayton, a first-round pick, and of course Sam Merrill was kind of just a filler from 2K. So yeah, DeAndre Ayton is fine at the center spot. He's expiring, and Zubac is a clear-cut upgrade, and we're kind of just getting Norman Powell for nothing, really. So yeah, I'm going to take this deal, and we honestly might have some more trades than I was expecting. Okay, that's actually going to end up being it in the trade department here at the start of year 2. This rotation has been finalized. We moved around some positions, and year 1 was incredible. I think we overachieved, 58 wins, 2 seed, all that fun stuff. The offseason, we decided to mix some things up, and I think it was for the best because this team, on paper at least, is looking more talented. It's looking deeper, and I think there's a little bit of a better possibility of a long playoff run. So Trae Young, Mikal Bridges, Zachary Rizachet, Jeremy Grant regressed like crazy, went down 3 overalls, now he's 78. Again, that power forward spot's kind of always been a weakness so far throughout this video, and it'll certainly have my full attention come off-season time. And then Zubac here is our starting center. Bench unit's pretty damn good, actually. Anthony Black going to be my 6th man. You got Capella behind him. Norman Powell, who we just acquired in that deal with the Clippers. You got Tumani Kamara playing the backup 4, and then finally Monte Morris, the backup point guard. I actually thought for a second, I was like, oh shit, did Monte Morris start out this video as a Timberwolves? And I forgot he's actually with the Phoenix Suns this season in real life. They just have his picture here in 2K. So yeah, that's it. Not sure why Trae Young went down 2 overalls. Again, fantastic work by 2K. Just makes a whole lot of sense. Really, it does. But this is the team. And last season, we didn't really have many expectations. This season, I'd say those are raised a bit. I wouldn't say they're quite in championship contention yet, but who knows, man? We were surprised last year. Maybe we'll be surprised again. I'll see you guys at the end of the second season. It's another pretty good season for us here in Minnesota. Unfortunately, we were 1 game worse than last year, but I'm not going to complain about a 57-win season. So, Luka Doncic, another MVP. Dylan Harper, Rookie of the Year. Randall is now in Orlando. I don't think did I trade? Oh, maybe I did trade Orlando to him to Orlando because I think I got Jonathan Isaac for him, which again made me very excited. But he's coming off the bench, assuming backing up Ben Caro. Wembanyama, your D-Boy. Alex Sarr, most improved. Ant, once again, clutch player of the year. And J Kidd, second straight coach of the year. Okay, let's go over the standings. We are, once again, the 2 seed here in the Western Conference. And I'd like to think that we can make a Western Conference Finals at a minimum. Again, this team is much more talented than the one we had a season ago, but we will find that out together. Rebounding department going to be Zubac, assist going to be Trae Young. So first round of the Western Conference playoffs, us and the Sacramento Kings, of course, this being the team that beat us last season. I'm not super pumped about this matchup, but here goes nothing against the Kings. Split the first 2 on our home court, do win game 3 on the road, tied up at 2-2, go down 3-2, force game 7, win game 7. All right, now moving on to the Thunder. There's no real way to say it other than nobody likes facing the Thunder in 2K because they are young, they are good defensively, they have a lot of depth, a lot of star power. It's just, they're everything you want in a rebuilding franchise. They're not even rebuilding anymore. I mean, they were for like, I don't want to say forever, but pretty much since the Russ and Paul George trades, and then, yep, they've had one of the more successful rebuilds in recent memory. We're down 3-2, and we get bounced in 6. Once again, the Western Conference semifinals kind of feels like our ceiling. Jokic, Western Conference Finals, Halliburton, Eastern Conference Finals MVP. Nuggets, good God, what are you supposed to do about that? Okay, it is time for the final offseason for us. We, of course, have some decisions to make. I think there's a possibility we pull off a few big trades. Of course, we don't have a ton of depth. Depth. I meant draft capital. So we're going to have to see what we can kind of work with here, but let's just see. Staff signing. Do I want to keep on Chris Finch? I think I might need Stauffer today. You know, I've gotten him not super recently, and I feel like, honestly, Chris Finch hasn't done a bad job, and he doesn't probably deserve to be fired, but considering we don't have a ton of superstars or anything like that, I think I need the best possible coach. So, again, nothing personal. That's not what I'm looking for. Nothing personal there, Chrissy. I just need to go ahead and make sure that I get my guy. Thank you very much. All right, let's approach the 2026 NBA draft. I do not know if we have any picks. We do not. We only have 2 tradable firsts as of right now, and yeah, I'm a little nervous. I'm not going to lie to you. So first and foremost, Trae Young being an unrestricted free agent is priority number 1. We got to make sure we get him back. I got to pay Bridges as well. And then, oh, and Norman Powell. Shit. Yeah, got to bring everybody here back. And again, one or two of these guys may be traded. I understand there's probably restrictions in real life in terms of signing somebody and then immediately trading them. But this is 2K, and I'm trying to win a championship, so don't come at my neck. We got a few meals to make. Good God, a few deals to make. Oh, wow, that went through. Okay, big deal has been pulled off with the Indiana Pacers, and it landed us a very, very big upgrade at our power forward spot. Now, we gave up Capella, Grant, Toppin, Morris, and a singular first-round pick to Indiana, and Pascal Siakam obviously being the return. So, you know, it's a very nice overall jump at that starting 4 spot. Again, Siakam, 32 years of age. Maybe see a little regression, but it is clear he is a nice addition at that spot. So excited to have him. I think we obviously did just lose a little bit of depth, so we're going to have to replace that. I think a Norman Powell trade is not out of the question. I know I just re-signed him, and everybody's going to maybe throw a hissy fit about it, but I obviously have to consider a few different things, one of them being the youth of this team or their lack thereof. Let's see. I don't really love any of these deals so far. Wendell Carter Jr. is actually not terrible. I actually may take that. Let's see. Anything else I really love? Draft picks don't really do me much good. Podziemski's sitting here. I don't really need Brandon Podziemski. I'm kind of good everywhere. So, you know, let's go ahead and take that deal here with the Orlando Magic. Pick up Wendell Carter Jr. That's fine by me. All right, let's look at the depth we have right now. We need to find ourselves a backup 3 or 2 because Anthony Black can obviously play the 3. So backup 1 for sure, or then a backup 2 or 3. These options kind of suck. I'm not going to lie to you. We're going to see some regression, no doubt about it, from Bruce Brown. But again, he's probably as good as it's going to get for us right now. And then the point guard, it's going to suck no matter which way you spin it. So I guess Aaron Holiday is going to have to do for a season. But that's what we kind of get when we go ahead and make these trades and land stars. So I'm going to move Bruce Brown to the small forward spot. Anthony Black probably goes up a higher overall, but who really cares at this point? So I will just see you guys at the start of the 3rd and final season. Are we good enough? That is the question I am pondering at the moment. It is the million-dollar question, for lack of a better term. This team has obviously been relatively successful in the regular season, and so far, the second round of the playoffs has been our ceiling. Now, this offseason made a nice addition with Pascal Siakam. We have some nice depth pieces on this team. Is it enough? Time will tell. Trae Young, Mikal Bridges, Zachary Rizachet, Pascal Siakam, Ivica Zubac. Bench unit will be led by Anthony Black, Wendell Carter Jr., Bruce Brown, Toumani Camara, and then Aaron Holiday. So I'd like to think it's enough. Of course, a head coaching upgrade as well with Mike Stauffer. Everybody's, downgrade with Stauffer because he has literally perfect ratings. So I will see you guys at the end of the final regular season here in Minnesota. Pretty good news here as we wrap up year number 3. We go 62-20, obviously our best record yet, and hopefully this is the time where we get out of the second round. Now, Victor Wembanyama has, I don't want to say arrived, because he pretty much arrived the first game of his rookie season, but he is your MVP. Cameron Boozer, Rookie of the Year. Igor Demine, your 6th man. Wembanyama also wins DPOY. Tristan DeSalva, Most Improved. Luka is now in a Clippers jersey, your Clutch Player of the Year. I guess the good news is we won't have to deal with the Mavericks. Possibly deal with the Clippers, though. Not my favorite thing. Okay, standings time. We are the 1 seed, which is cool. Look at the Mavericks still as a 3 seed. 2K really just does have favorites. And here's a look at the 49-win Pistons taking home the East. God, what a conference. Okay, numbers all across the board. Young, Rizachet, Bridges, Siakam, Carter, Zubac, Black, Brown, Kamara, and then Holiday. Rebound's going to be led by Zubac. Assist going to be Trae Young. It is us and the Portland Trailblazers here. Okay. They have obviously made some, moves, rebuilding moves. We traded them McDaniels and Naz Reid, and yeah, I think we're better. They're pretty good. There's no doubt about that, but I think we're clearly the better team here. So up 3-1 in round 1. We end up winning in 5. Now advancing to the Golden State Warriors here in round 2. Steph Curry still going strong at the age of 39, averaging 33 points a game throughout that first round series. They just don't have a lot around Steph. I mean, there's some fine role players next to him, but star power-wise, okay, really, 2K. What is going on today? What is going on today? Right? Is the second round, is that just where we live? I guess. What the fuck is, oh my good lord. What the hell, Trey? Holy shit. Oh my god. You go up against the greatest shooter in the history of the sport and you turn into a pumpkin from the field. Wow. Well, this one was disappointing. I'm not going to lie to you. There's no way to, kind of do anything but say this was disappointing. This was really shitty and sucks and just kind of is what it is. I wish I could sit here and tell you that they all end in sunshine and rainbows and championships, but they don't. And, I thought we put together a team that was good enough. to win a championship. At least get out of the second round, that's for sure. But I show you guys the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between. It's not always great, and sometimes they fail, and I fail, and they go like this. So yeah, it sucks. I wish we could have got a championship. I thought this was a good enough team to certainly make a run at it, but I guess not. So my bad. It sucks. But that's it for me. Good to be back, and hopefully you guys still enjoyed this one. So let me know any other rebuild ideas down below in the comment section. As always, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.